Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am back with a new episode of the Horizons Author Lounge. And I'm super excited because I have two new guests in the lounge. And believe it or not, I have not met these two particular guests prior to the show. So I'm looking forward to getting to know them just as much as you're looking forward to getting to know them. So we're going to get started with our first guest, Miss Colette Harrell, and she was just telling me about an amazing event that she just hosted during Juneteenth. And she must be a glutton for punishment because she's already planning another event. And I don't see how she does it because whenever I do my event in February, I have to take a break for a second. But Colette said, no, I'm just pushing through. So welcome to the show. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Here. So yeah, tell me. Oh, shoot, we already have people who jumped in and said your event was amazing.
Yes.
Come on. All right, so, well, before we jump into the event, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Colette Harrell?
I am an author. I am a developmental story editor. I am a book coach and literary event facilitator, which is a new title for me in 2024. I've done some things in other groups, but this is my first time going out on my own doing it. And I think I read something that you said in one of your posts, which is, I think, how we ended up connecting. You talked about how difficult it was to do events and how everything comes together at the last minute. And so, taking a page out of that, it definitely happened the same way for me. And so I was really happy to have your wisdom in the back of my mind saying, okay, I'm not the only one who goes through this. And
Yes.
so it was an exciting time. It was a happy time. It all came off wonderfully. In accordance with that, I'm also an author. So let me talk about my author hat. I
Yes.
have a new book coming out. It's called Chasing Different. It's the first book in a series. And I actually wanted to do a love series that was actually different. So my hero is neurodivergent. And so I wanted to bring what that looks like in a situation where you have a couple facing challenges, but also falling in love at the same time. And we already have so many issues with relationships in regular courtships, should I say normal courtships, and that's a quote around that, that to be neurodivergent and having to bring all of those additional issues into a relationship, how do you navigate that? So this whole series, the first book, Chasing Different, is he's neurodivergent. The second book, she has a split personality, and the third book is interracial. So it is my Loving Difference series. So I'm hoping everybody tunes in for it. It's coming out by the end of the month. So follow me and let's get busy with it.
Do you have copies of your books with you so we can see the cover?
I have Chasing Difference not out yet.
Okay.
So this is the cover for Chasing Difference. And my latest book, Later, was my last book. And this book is kind of a genre bender. And so it's a sci-fi, historical, inspirational love story. So it begins in slavery time, 1859, and the couple end up meeting in 2023. So it's a different type of love story, which I love. And then my other books, please come and visit me on ColetteHarrell.com and be able to read a sample and see exactly what I'm doing in all of my different hats, because I love doing different genres. I'm not married to any particular one, although they all have an inspirational theme through them.
Okay, so now I noticed that when you held up the poster that book Chasing Different is available for pre-sales right now. Can they order the book through your website, or do they go to Amazon, or what?
You can go to Amazon and order the book.
Nice.
And the book should be out no later than the end of this month. We are in the last stages of everything for it. And so I'm really excited about it because it is different than anything else I've ever written. So yeah.
How do you prepare yourself to write something that's different from what you're used to? Because you're also a children's author.
Well, my first children's book hasn't come out yet. So right now, all of my titles are adult. Okay. But because I write inspirational, teenagers read my books, youth read my books. There's nothing in there that they can't accept, especially with TV today.
Let's talk a bit about your event that just passed and then the lessons learned that you're going to apply to your next event that's going to take place in a couple months.
Okay, so I had on June 23rd, which was the Sunday after Juneteenth, we had the Juneteenth Bash Book Festival. And BASH stands for Black Authors Spotlight on Heritage.
Love that.
And I just want us all to win together. I don't believe in the crab in the barrel concept. I believe that we can pull each other up.
Yes.
I believe we can stand shoulder to shoulder and do things for each other. I believe we can share information, and that there are millions of readers in the world, millions and millions of readers. We can share them, because if anybody's like me, you're reading several books a week. So another author is not knocking you off your pedestal. So I wanted to have an event where the authors were able to come for free, didn't have to pay for a table, that literally they got a free lunch. Literally, I bought the first book off their table, so nobody would go home without having sold a book.
Yeah.
And that was my heart's intent. Those were my simple goals when I started. But as I continued to work this, then I added a band, and then I added a DJ, and then I added a singer and a spoken word artist, and then the photo booth and a food truck. And it just began to continue to grow. And then we had the swag bags that had 7 to 8 different items in there for everyone. We gave away 10 gift cards, $25 gift cards to our attendees. And that was amazing. We gave away 2 tablets for children so that they could get children books.
And you were able to get some sponsorship to help out with a lot of this.
I started late. And so some of the sponsors, you go to banks and you go to different places, and it was like, come back next year, we can help you in 2025. But I went to the Greater Columbus Arts Council. And if there's anybody out there listening, if you have an arts council, please check them out in your local area, because many of them have grants. And our Greater Columbus Arts Council had a grant if you were going to have a festival. And so the literary festival, it came in under Arts Festival. I wrote the grant and then waited on pins and needles. I did not find out. So I had plan B, C, and D, because I didn't find out that I got the grant until May 31st.
What are you going to maintain going into your next event? And first of all, let us know what the next event is.
So the next event is my writer's brunch on August the 24th here in Columbus, Ohio. And I have Victoria Christopher Murray. I have Cyrus Webb. I have Manswell T. Peterson. I have Sandy Hensfield, which is a non-fiction chapter leader. And then I have Stephanie Bridges, who's a guru on helping you find funding for your events and your activities. And she actually is one of the ones who put me on to, why aren't you writing grants to help you do some of this? So, and she's going to come. And so that is going to be, that writer's brunch is August the 24th at the Warner Mansion. And we have Chef Robbie. He was he won Best Brunch in Columbus, and he'll be doing the brunch, our private chef. And it's at a historical mansion. And so it's going to be fabulous. And I'm looking really forward to it. This event is not free, but if you go to Eventbrite and put my name in, Colette R. Harrell, or just Colette Harrell Events, you will see it and get your ticket. It is not going to be a large group of people, because I wanted people to be able to really engage our instructors, And we all know Victoria Christopher Murray is a 2-time New York Times bestselling author. Cyrus Webb is one of the #1 Amazon influencers and media personalities. And so Maxwell T. Peterson is a best-selling children's and
he's been
youth.
around for a while too.
And he's been around for a while. He's